It's your boy Sean.
What's up, Wikimaniacs? It's your sick boy Josh here, barely getting through the first sentence. Sienna decided to give me a cold, and it's been terrible, so thank you for that, Sienna. With me today is the man himself, John Consignato. What's up, John?
Hello, how is it going? I don't know what day it is.
November or something? I don't know.
Something. You know how it be.
And Sean realized that he was the he made the September he got the September star for making every episode. So now he's given up. And replacing him this week is Lindsay from Ye Olde Crime. How's it going, Lindsay?
It's going. How are you? Obviously sick, but
sick. Yeah, terrible. I said that already.
I know. Sorry, it's a default response.
No, that's okay. I will be ruthless with my assholeness today.
Sick Josh is not fun at all.
Well, it depends on who you are. If I'm calling you an asshole or you're watching me call you an asshole.
True.
Yeah.
If you're into it.
True.
If you're into that, you know?
Yeah. Let's call out Sienna right now. First she gave you COVID, now she gave you a cold. What's going on,
know.
Sienna? What? You are infecting my boy here. What's going on?
I know. I guess that's what happens when you work with children.
She just needs to wear a hazmat suit at all times.
At all times.
Yeah. Yeah. I missed when she worked from home and taught kids because that was way better. Didn't get any of the germs. So
Children are nothing but petri dishes, let's be clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can attest.
They are.
She's just trying to say she misses you so you can stay home a little more and not talk to us for quite a bit. I'm just kidding.
I'm home all the time. All right, let's get into the episode today before my voice gives out. So, on today's episode, we have a wife who loses it on her husband. OP threatens to kick out her roommate. A listener moves into their brother's house. And a listener gets a coworker fired. After that, we're going to move on to our Patreon exclusive episode, or stories, sorry, where we have a dry wedding gone wrong.
Uh-oh.
And we have a wife refusing to pick up her nephew from school.
Ooh.
So the dry wedding got wet. Isn't that supposed to be
dry wedding
the
got
honeymoon is supposed to be like?
No. Oh, God.
I'll make it so dry for you.
Some Popeyes chicken and biscuits, baby.
I miss Sean. So if you want those last stories, you can head on over to patreon.com/cultivate podcast network and sign up to get them, as well as ad-free episodes every Friday. On top of that, if you're a returning listener, please consider giving us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or you can share the podcast with a friend. And finally, I think some of these stories came from Reddit. I apologize if they, but our subreddit, r/Reddit on Wiki. So if you want like a story you like to potentially get featured on the show, you can submit them there at r/Reddit on Wiki. And yeah, that's my call out. Links to everything in the show notes.
Hey, shout out to Turtles Can Fly on our Discord channel. They said they're about to make Pigs Can Swim 08 pretty soon. So I thought that was hilarious.
Nice. That was that the joke we made last week? I think?
That was the joke. And they're I think they're going to follow up with it. So shout out to you, Turtles Can Fly.
Hell yeah. Nice. Anything else you want to shout out before we get into the episode?
No, let's get to it right away because we want your sexy voice throughout this whole episode, Josh.
I don't even think it's sexy at this point. I think it's
I find it sexy.
You would be making so much money right now on like a call line.
Oh yeah.
What am I doing here then?
You sound very Jason Statham right now.
Oh.
Transport me, Josh.
To the bedroom.
Just shave my head.
Let's get this dry wedding wet, baby.
Oh, God. Oh, that's in the Patreon only. Patreon.com/cultivate podcast network. All right. Let's hop into the first story. So this one is listener submitted by user refill_lady, which was submitted on our subreddit. Am I the asshole for losing it on my husband for lying about an emergency to get me to leave my brother's wedding early?
Could be.
Could be. Okay.
I
Okay.
reserve judgment until I hear the
No,
context.
Lens. You know
Coward.
how it
You're a
goes over
coward.
here. Don't be scared. Call him out.
Don't be scared. Fine. I'll say asshole, and then we'll see if I'm right.
Oh, okay.
We'll see if I'm right.
Okay. Okay.
Only Sean is the he's the only one that could guess him correctly. So
No, Sean
ain't
not
us.
only guesses it correctly, but he also tells the entire story beforehand. I'm like, yeah, well, there's no point in me being here. So. All right. So my husband has been sick for a few days. Same. He got sick around the same time as my brother's wedding. I took care of him for 24 hours for days. He's on meds and can move around and go to the bathroom and eat on his own. I told him I was going to my brother's wedding, and he threw a fit saying I couldn't leave him alone while he's sick.
oh boy.
I
God.
told him that he was not that sick. It's just some stomach thing, and that he's getting treatment for, and suggested he call his sister to come stay with him. He said no and told me to miss my brother's wedding.
Oh,
I got
fuck.
upset.
I'm
Asshole.
sticking to my original answer.
I got upset and bluntly said no, and that he could survive for a few hours while I attended the wedding. He sulked, and as I was leaving, he said he hoped I would never come back.
What? Jesus Christ. You are
Oh,
so dramatic, dude.
God.
Yeah.
You're
Just-
making me sick to my stomach hearing you saying that.
Cry me a river, build a bridge, and get over it.
Oh, damn. There we go. Yeah, he's throwing a tantrum like a 4-year-old. It's
God.
just ridiculous. So it hurt my feelings, but I know he was just mad and didn't mean it. At the wedding, I got a text from him saying that he'd lost his balance and fell off the stairs and hurt his back. He said he was in a lot of pain and threw up and couldn't move, and insisted I get home ASAP. I freaked out and started calling his phone,
Sorry.
but he
Sorry. I slipped.
was throwing up on himself.
That's all I can picture. It's like the Scooby-Doo scenes, like Raggy and
I just picture that girl from TikTok who like hits her hip on the bed frame. So he just goes
it's
like,
like ah.
and then he like falls down.
Oh.
He like tumbles down the stairs, and then he throws up at the bottom.
Just lying there in it.
I don't know. It's giving me Peter Griffin vibes, dude. Just like and then
And then
I'm sorry, Josh. That's all I'm picturing mentally while I'm trying to listen to the story.
That's all good. I enjoy that mental image. So I freaked out and started calling his phone, but he didn't answer. I thought he must have passed out, and I freaked out even more. I got in my car and drove back to our house immediately. When I got home, I rushed towards the stairs while calling out his name, but he wasn't there. I started to really freak out. I rushed into the bedroom and found him in bed drinking juice, and as soon as he saw me, he put his phone down. He's literally a toddler.
Was it juice on a sippy cup?
Yeah, it was a sippy cup, apple juice.
Oh man.
I instantly knew he lied, so I lost it on him and started yelling, saying he freaked me out and caused me to miss my brother's wedding for nothing. He said that he already told me I couldn't leave him alone in the house, and that this very scenario could have happened if I stayed there any longer. Oh, God.
okay,
Get
there.
this.
Now build the bridge.
Get this. This is literal toddler shit. He started crying and throwing his juice all over the place.
He just throws his sippy cup, but it.
Oh,
Holy
boy.
shit.
What a Stewie! Like, come over here and love me.
I had to step out and call his sister, thinking she'd come to help, but she came and started cussing me out, saying I had a lot of nerve, expecting her to back me up after I carelessly left her brother alone in the house
Holy
in that state just to attend a
Wow.
party. Again, this is her brother's wedding she's trying to attend, not just a party.
They're both assholes. It's a
Agreed.
double asshole situation.
It's an asshole family.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We got into an argument and I went to stay with my family. My brother understood when I explained the situation to him. My husband and I haven't seen each other since then, but his sister kept saying I had no right to scream at her brother and cause him to have a panic attack, and said that he was at least clear with me from the start, but I chose to be dismissive. Was I dismissive? Am I the asshole?
Absolutely not.
No.
No.
She also writes, I'm 26 and he's 23. So
23.
yeah,
And he should have called his mom to come take care of him because obviously he's a baby.
a child. Yes.
A child. And I'm not okay. When I'm sick, I too am a baby. I feel like
Same.
a lot of dudes are. You know what I'm saying? Like
Can
oh,
attest.
I got a little fever. Everything hurts. I want my juice. Granted, I'm like that, but if it's an important event such as a wedding, bro, grow a pair and fucking take care of yourself at this point, man. It's not even I can't even believe this right now. Like, why would you even do that?
I have a perfect real world example of this in reverse. We were all supposed to go to my brother-in-law's wedding. It was like in January. Myself and both my girls got sick as dogs. Like we're throwing up constantly. And
Did you fall on your back?
And then I fell down the stairs and I hit
Threw
my
your
back
juice everywhere.
through my juice. And he offered to stay home. And I was like, no, it's your brother's wedding. You need to go and be at your brother's wedding. Like, this is
Yeah.
important. I can stay home with the kids. We are all sick. I am at the point where I'm a little less sick than they are, so I can take care of them, you know. It boggles the mind that he would be like, my sickness is more important than your brother's once in a lifetime wedding.
Wait, Lindsay, you were a supportive partner?
I know.
That's unbelievable.
I know.
I know.
Shocker.
On this show? They're unheard of.
I know. 1 in a million.
But that's absolutely what it should have been. It should have been like, no, I can handle myself. I'll call my sister. Go ahead.
Mhm.
Like, you should enjoy your brother's wedding. It's a once in a lifetime event. Fingers crossed.
Yep.
So, you know, go.
Yeah, or he could have just done what he was doing when she went home. Go to bed, stay in bed, and drink some damn juice.
Yeah,
Yep.
sip on the sippy cup.
Watch Bob the Builder, whatever kids watch nowadays. What Peppa Pig.
That's
Bluey.
where she went wrong. Yeah, she didn't throw Peppa Pig on before he left.
Didn't put on some Bluey for him, you know.
Like,
Yeah.
you didn't charge my iPad.
Cut the crust off his peanut butter and jelly sandwich before she left.
Do you have any games on your phone? Yeah.
Man, complete asshole and complete childish. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
not even close.
And then wild of the sister to be like, you're an
The
asshole.
sister's a
Like,
double asshole. I have a feeling this guy is like the baby in their family
yeah. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Always being pampered. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she specifically said, how dare she leave him to go to a party? So I'm wondering
Yeah.
if when he talked to his sister, if he didn't say it was a wedding. He just made it out to be like she
Like
was
a
just going
party.
to a party. Because in my mind,
Yeah.
no rational adult would be like, how dare you go to a wedding and not stay home and take care of my sick brother? But again, not everybody is rational. So
Lindsay, we are an Am I the Asshole subreddit.
I know.
No one is rational.
I'm playing devil's advocate. I should know better.
Yeah, so I think we can all agree
Asshole.
both him and his sister are assholes.
1000%.
and,
Criminals. Yep.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would say maybe leave him, but
Yeah. Don't see him again.
Yeah,
that's controlling and manipulation.
that's gaslighting.
get you out of-
That's
Gaslighting. Yeah.
He's
All-
probably gonna sign the divorce paper in crayons because he's a damn child.
in his tears. He like dabs his eyes.
And he cried. The crying part killed me.
Yeah.
I'm like, my boy.
Jesus. All right, let's move on to the next story. This one I found myself. Pat on the back, me.
Good
Ooh,
job,
look at
Josh.
you.
You want some fruit snacks?
I would like a star, please.
Sean has him right now.
Oh, okay. Am I the asshole for threatening to kick out my coworker / roommate for kissing my best friend?
Hmm.
I was confused because it said kicking and then it said kissing. And I was like,
Kicking, I could see. Kissing,
For
Are
kicking
you-
my best friend.
Thankfully,
or
there wasn't
kissing my
another
best
K
friend.
in there because this would have been problematic.
Oh
But,
God.
I'm gonna go with not the asshole on this one.
I don't know how
Okay.
the story is, but I have a feeling it's one of those dudes who like called dibs on a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's kind of
That's
where
my
I'm
guess.
going with. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
kind of see that. Mm-hmm.
So you guys are saying OP is not the asshole as of right now.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm no Sean,
Okay.
so it's gonna be a wrong guess.
This is written in stone, everyone. Call them out if it's wrong.
You said we could guess. I'm gonna throw
No.
a tantrum and throw up.
Your word is
Where's
law,
my
John.
juice?
All right. So around February, 23-year-old, let my coworker Jaden, 25-year-old, and his daughter Leah, 6-year-old, move in. We were coworkers and friends for 3 years, and he's always been so funny, smart, and cute. We became really close friends. Unfortunately, work decided they couldn't afford to keep everyone and have been making cuts, and Jaden was basically forced to quit. He knows I was really worried about his. I know he was really worried about his rent and everything, and my roommate was leaving, so I offered him to stay with me, and we chose to work out an agreement. We decided that while he's still looking for a job, he'd deal with all the chores and errands and housework. It's honestly been amazing having him live with me. He's such a great cook, and Leah has been really well behaved and sweet. He's helped me out a lot, and I really enjoy being able to spend time with him. He's found some part-time work, but nothing that pays enough for him to live alone, so we've mostly kept to our agreement, just with me doing more and him helping pay a little. My friends have come over quite a few times and obviously have met him. Last weekend, I had a bunch of my friends stay over. I thought it went great, but the next day, Leah told me she saw her dad kissing my best friend. I was really upset, and Jaden and I ended up arguing about it. Apparently, the kiss wasn't intentional, and he didn't say anything because they didn't know what it meant. But it still felt wrong. I'm doing so much for him. I'm doing so much only for him to do this to me. I got upset and told him that I will have to leave, or that he will have to leave if he just wants to take advantage of my kindness. That I don't want to live with someone who betrays me like that. He was offended and just tried to act like it was no big deal and like I was being crazy. He thinks I have no right to say anything about his love life, even though it's my best friend and I'm doing so much for him. Our talk didn't really work out, but I tried to talk to my best friend and she agreed to back off. The last few days have been horrible and he doesn't think he's done anything wrong. I tried to talk again, but he's now refused and has been really cold and told me that he'll move out as soon as he can. I don't think I've done anything wrong. It's his own fault. I want this to work out, but he shouldn't be going around to kissing my friends. But the fighting has really upset Leah, and obviously Jaden thinks I'm an asshole, even if he's being selfish. So am I the asshole?
Kinda?
Yeah.
Was there ever a talk that the friend was like off limits? And even so, I'm gonna go back with the original. You can't call dibs on people if the intention was never there, or not the intention, but if there was never a clear communication that whoever the friend kissed, like that's not something you can call dibs on.
Yeah.
Well, and not only that, but up until that point, it doesn't sound like there was ever any sort of romantic thing going on between
Right.
her and Jaden. Or I'm sorry, them and Jaden. They didn't.
I think it's a she, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
But there was no clear indication of them being in any sort of romantic relationship. So it does seem a little bit like they are in the wrong for assuming that they would be their
Yeah.
platonic partner or whatever. Yeah.
I'm where I'm coming from it seems like the part that makes me think OP is an asshole is when they're like, I'm doing so much for them, how could they do this to me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's
you're
like-
like shoving it in your face that you were their lifeline. Like
Yeah.
that's not.
Yeah.
This is an
you should do.
agreement where you're both like winning from this agreement, and like
Right.
you both agreed to this, and nowhere in that agreement did it say, "Hey,
Can't
you
kiss your
can't kiss
friends."
my best friend."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the best friend even said back off. So it's clear that it was a mutual kiss, or like, at least at that point it was mutual.
Mhm.
And so it's not like he was taking advantage of your friend or doing anything wrong. So I think you're the asshole for
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they said, I think they said it on the story themselves. Like Jaden was a good person, and if you, as a
Yeah.
best friend, you end up with someone like with a good person like that, shouldn't you be happy for them?
Yeah.
Unless they had feelings for that best friend, but it seemed like it was never communicated, and there was no. I didn't hear anything from the story saying that, hey, like I have feelings for this person, so I'm gonna need you to chill.
Well, not only that, but there were never any sort of, that we were made aware of, contingencies on Jaden being with anybody. Like, not even necessarily the best friend. Like, you know, if it was a matter of, I don't want you bringing people home to like make out or whatever at where we're staying, that was nothing that was ever agreed upon in the beginning. So
Yeah.
trying to claim that you quote unquote own this person that is living with you and like dictate whether or not they can be in a relationship with somebody else, that's an asshole. Like,
Scummy for sure. So I did go into the comments, everyone who says I never do. I finally did it. I apologize it took this long. So this might seal the deal. So username glitter sparkle divine
nice.
commented, is Jaden aware that you have feelings for him and that you expect them returned because of your selfless acts of kindness? And then they say you're the asshole. And then right below that, OP comments, I haven't told him, but it's not about that. He doesn't have to like me back, but he can't go around kissing my friends. He and his daughter would have been homeless if I didn't help him. I mean, Leah
No.
sees me as a mother figure now. So it seems that she's like holding that over.
Yeah.
That's
Jaden's
something
head.
you can do. If you willingly help someone, you cannot hold that over their head. Because now you're just saying that you own that person's life because you were there for them as like a crutch during like their financial or like hard times. That is just manipulation.
It's literally the nice guy meme. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm a nice person. You have to love me now.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
like, no. And it works both ways. This is a female doing it to a male. So
Yeah.
Nice
just
gal?
because-
Would that be considered a nice gal?
Well, and she
sure.
can't say that they would be homeless. Who's to say that they wouldn't have found somebody else?
Right.
That he didn't have
Yeah.
anybody else in his life who'd be willing to help him out.
Yeah.
Like,
he went with someone that he trusted and that he thought, is supporting me during this time and that they can have a mutually beneficial agreement. And it sounds like he chose that because he trusted her, and it seems like she did it because she wanted him to love her.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just wrong motivation.
That now it's not. If the OP had said like their intentions and the feelings, then I could see why Jaden would be an asshole.
Yep.
Because it's
Yep.
like,
Yep.
okay,
Well, yeah.
I mean, granted, like you can't force someone to love someone even
Yep.
though they help you,
Yep.
type
Yeah.
of shit. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you shouldn't go around like kissing your friends and knowing that OP had feelings for you. But
Yeah.
this is all OP's not willing to open up and say like, hey, I do have feelings for you. Therefore, you can't. You still can't tell people what to do with their life.
and
Yeah, exactly.
And if she's had these feelings for a while, that should have been discussed before there was any sort of agreement to him living with her. Because if he doesn't feel that way, and it's like sprung on him, like in the situation that is happening, maybe he would have chosen to live somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, maybe she didn't know when she agreed to him moving in,
mhm,
and then
things changed.
she
Yeah.
grew fond of him.
Yep.
Yeah, there's ways that she might not have known she had feelings for him, or didn't have them yet. But as soon as she knew, she should have probably let him
Said
know,
something. Yeah.
or at least not reacted this way when she found out about this.
Yeah. It seems like there was a lack of communication on their part to Jaden on
100%.
Yeah.
So definitely the asshole.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hopefully Jaden moves in with your best friend.
Yeah.
Then they can kiss all they want.
Yep.
Yeah, then they can kiss whenever they want. No, I don't. That's a little mean, but
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Send Snapchats to OP. Just kidding.
yeah, exactly.
Jeepers.
All right. With that, we're gonna hit a break and listen to some sponsors. Buy some products
Or
They help us-
services.
or services. They keep us going. So we'll be right back.
Yay.
Holiday season, I'll be giving thanks to our friends over at Manscaped. Everyone loves turkey and stuffing, but you'll be looking like a dessert with the help of Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0. The leaders in below-the-waist grooming have blessed you with the ultimate Thanksgiving dinner topic. Tell your in-laws about your new cutting-edge ball trimmer and gift yourself or the man of your life the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. I don't know if I'd tell your in-laws about that. Trim your pumpkins by going to manscaped.com and using the code Reddit for free shipping and a whopping 20% off. Think your holiday spread is good? It's time to give thanks to the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0, or as I like to call it, the Performance Package for your package. Ayo. Inside, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. Think of it as a cornucopia for your balls. Their Manscaped 4.0 trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. It also gives you the ability to turn on their 4000K LED spotlight on and off when you need it for a more precise shave. Plus, it's waterproof. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker to chop your worst weeds up top in your nose and ears. This nose and ear hair trimmer uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual blade system to provide proprietary skin-safe technology which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes. And you can't forget the Manscaped's liquid formulations, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, and Crop Reviver toner spray. They are like the pumpkin pie and ice cream after Thanksgiving dinner. Can't live without it. Your balls will be living in turkey heaven with these formulations. And on top of that, it's time to do some dishes with Manscaped's shower products. Lather some Manscaped's refined body wash on with their brand new signature body buffer and give yourself the lather and rinse your body deserves. Lose the loofah and exfoliate your mates. No hygiene routine is complete without Manscaped's signature deodorant as well. A couple swipes of this and you'll be feeling oh so crisp. Gifting Manscaped is the ultimate hack to becoming the family favorite. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code Reddit at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com when you use the code Reddit. Be thankful this holiday season for the best gift of all from Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
All right, and we are back from our ad break. We're going to switch it up a little bit here. My voice is giving out on me. The next one is listener submitted from one of our patrons, I believe. Right, John?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So-
they have asked to be anonymous, so we're going to
Yes.
keep it anonymous.
So don't guess. Luckily, we have enough patrons that it'd be hard to guess anyway.
That's a good
So-
problem to have.
Mhm.
This one was a very long story. I had to trim it down. So I
Girthy.
apologize if I trimmed out any important parts, but it was 4 pages when I got it. To give you an example of a regular story is usually half a page to a page. So I trimmed it down to 2.5, but there's no way my voice is going to get through it. So I'm giving it over to John for this one. So
This is
please
my first-
enjoy.
Am I the asshole on a Friday?
Debatably, yeah. Actually, might be.
It is, actually.
Yeah, because Sean did the one I was gone. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So
I'm so excited.
I pass the torch on to you, young Padawan.
But it'll never make it to TikTok because it's so long. Damn it!
10 minutes long.
Ah. All right. Am I the asshole for moving into my brother's house? Any guesses so far?
I
Josh, you can't guess.
can't guess. I
read
know
it.
the ending. I edited this one.
I'm going to say yes.
Oh,
Okay.
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 Sorry,
What?
patron. Sorry, anonymous
What?
patron.
Yeah. True. That would be the first time we called the listener an asshole. So
Sean would be pissed.
Sean would be pissed.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
They're not the asshole.
Why'd you give in some peer pressure?
Yeah, that was
I
quick.
don't want Sean to get mad at me.
Sean doesn't get mad.
That's
He
true.
just gets red and cuter.
I know.
The only time I've seen him mad is the one episode John did where he did all the
Oh, all
worst
the
stories
sad ones? Yeah.
imaginable.
Yeah. You know, that's how I make it feel. Okay, anyway.
That's true.
Am I the asshole for moving into my brother's house? I, 22 male, and fiance, 25 female, are in the midst of a big life change as she is currently 7 months pregnant. Actually, follow them on Instagram. I think they just gave birth, so congratulations. Congratulations. I'm not going to say who, so y'all can check.
Did you name it Blaze? 'Cause that's what
Oh, you should name it Blaze. We lived in a small apartment downtown and did not have a lot of room as we foster senior dogs and have 2 of our own. Having a baby in this environment would not only be tight, but also dangerous as it's not very well insulated and gets extremely cold in winter / hot in the summer. We decided that we wanted to look for a house nearby that we would have room for us and our dogs. My parents suggested that we move into their rental house that they owned. This sounded like a great idea as we would do a rent to own deal and made it much easier to become homeowners. It sucks trying to be a homeowner.
Yes.
Yeah.
In this economy, it sucks.
1000%. Yeah.
What's that like?
Lots of bills, things that breaks like every day. So you are not missing out, my guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm just paying rent, so and that's stupid expensive.
It is.
So
It is. So here's the fun part. My brother, 30 male, currently lives in the house. He as well is expecting 2 months after us and is planning on moving to the East Coast to be with his girlfriend, 27 female. We had a plan in place that we would move in on the 31st of the month, as we would only get our place rented out for the 1st of the month. This seemed to be fine at first, as we all came to an agreement that my brother would move in with my parents for a couple days until he moved on the 4th of the next month. For the next month prior to moving day, I packed and brought our belongings over to the house and filled the garage, which was never used. My father and I cleaned it out, and I slowly moved in our stuff every day until the final day of moving. That's not fun.
no, I hate moving.
It's the worst.
I find this, so the brother wasn't leaving until the 4th, I believe, right?
Yes.
I found it weird that he just didn't stay at the house until he moved out. You know, I mean, it's a little weird, but I guess if the agreement was he just went to their parents until he left, I guess that's fine. I don't know.
That's fine.
I don't know. Yeah.
My brother started to become a bit annoyed as I was constantly at the house. We had a discussion earlier in the month with both our parents and came to an agreement that we could put our furniture and blankets inside in a corner so they did not get wet or musty sitting in the garage, as it had a leak. 2 days before the final move, I was bringing over our big furniture and blanket boxes. I asked him where I could put them and he was livid, saying that, quote, it's still his house and that he didn't have any room to put any of that stuff in it. He told us to fit it into the garage, and I told him it was not possible as the garage was full anyway. This created an argument, but I still managed to get everything inside the house. So let me preface by saying, I can never say that word. Is it preface or preface?
Preface, I think.
Okay, let me preface by saying English is not my first language. So
Yeah, I'm Canadian, so
It's cool.
let me preface by saying he is moving 20 plus hours east and leaves on the 4th. When I first walked into the house on the 29th, nothing was packed. The house looked as if it was completely unchanged.
I live with a roommate who was like this because we moved from one house to the other in university, and it was like the day before. He hadn't packed anything, and then that night he stayed up all night just packing and like continued to pack while we were packing the moving trucks, and it was like, why you wait so long?
I know people like that too. Yeah, it is. It is so annoying.
Hilarious.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Between my parents and I messaging him and having in-person conversations to start packing, he simply stated he would when he wanted to, as he had planned to pack from 31st to the 3rd. On the day of the move, we all got there at 7:30 a.m. after moving the final big things from our apartment an hour prior. My brother has been telling us that he had started packing on the 30th and that he had gotten a lot done. He ended up going away to a business party on the 31st and was not even in the same city for the whole day. The house was about 50% packed and the front living room was full of his stuff. Every main floor room, bathroom, and basement still was not even touched, as if he was still as if he still was planning on living there. At this point, I said, fuck it, and started moving our stuff into all the rooms that were already empty. I asked him where he was and why he wasn't packed up, and he said he was doing the best he could and stated that he was busy. I had enough and said, you should have been packed already. We can't move in. This caused him to absolutely blow up.
Ooh.
Things get juicy from here. Okay. Physical threats to me were made, and I was so confused. I was just stating the obvious, as he had failed so many times to communicate with our family and us and let us all down in this very important time. At this point, I gave up trying to be nice and patient, as I had been the whole time, despite him not being understanding or in any way accommodating to us. We ended up taking everything out of the kitchen drawers and cabinets and putting it into boxes. We at least labeled it and put it in the pile he had already started. We
nice.
also did. That's
It's nicer than what I would have done.
Yeah.
It would have been
I
like
would have just threw
garbage
everything.
bags unmarked.
Yeah.
Yep. We also did this with all the washrooms in the basement, mud room, and front hall. What the hell is a mud room?
It's
Like the entrance.
yeah,
Where you put your
Oh.
shoes and
hang your coats and stuff like that.
yeah. Is that maybe that's a north thing, Lindsay? Now
Is-
that I think about it, because
Yeah.
for snow and stuff, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of a place where a lot of them typically have like a bench where you can like take your boots and your shoes off, and there's places where you
Yeah.
can put.
Usually like tile floor or
Mhm.
something, because it's like wet
Mhm.
or slush or snow or whatever you're coming in with. So it's
Sometimes
like-
they're.
That's
I've
interesting.
seen them connected to like as part of the laundry room too. Sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, usually off the garage or
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah.
That's good to know. I don't think we have that around here.
I don't know why you would have any reason to, but
Yeah.
True that.
you have a
So
sand
we
room.
locked all. We don't get
I
sand
know.
here.
I'm just being.
I'm checking the back now. Do we get sand around here? We get tornadoes.
It's the,
Oh, you have a tornado room,
the scorpion
Yeah.
room, the lizard room.
Yeah.
the lizard room,
Oh my gosh.
the
please.
cowboy room.
Yeah.
Take off my spurs.
I got horses in the back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start singing Old Town Road now.
Get us
So-
demonetized.
Sorry. We locked all the doors as I was scared he would do something to me or my fiance.
Sorry. Something I did take away there that I probably shouldn't have, but he said that they had incidences in the past. I didn't specifically say, but that's why they locked the doors as well. So
Hmm.
That brother sounds violent.
Yeah, I'm
not
glad.
great.
I'm glad I changed my answer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, OP. Like that.
No, you can't.
No, you can't. You're
They're
locked
gonna
in.
hate me forever now.
Final answer, locked in. He ended up showing up later in the afternoon and continued to blow up on me and my family, as we didn't have the right to be moving his stuff out and taking over his home. My parents tried to explain to him for the 100th time that it was not his home, as he is a renter, and that the deal was you move out on the 31st when they move in. He then began to tell us that he knows how the market works and that he is paying rent until the 4th.
Sounds like a
When he
crypto
leaves.
bro.
Yeah, sounds like a
Let me
tech bro.
mansplain renting to you, parents.
You don't understand, mom.
I don't know. I'm like not familiar with like all those type of laws, but I've seen shows like on what's that show? Silicon Valley,
Mhm.
and then like on Netflix where it was like worst neighbors or worst tenants, something like that.
Yeah.
Some states do like favor the tenants, though, right?
I mean, here's my thing. I think it's probably a good thing that they favor the tenants, because the landlords could be really shitty if they got the favor. You know what I mean? If you get kicked out with no notice or anything like that. This is a family thing where it's like you've agreed to this and you're already moving anyway, so why put up this much of a stink?
Mhm.
This is like one of those things where it's, yeah, he's in the wrong because he's already made this agreement, and like it's shitty. But like if renters could just if landlords could just kick you out whenever, you'd be shit. Like there'd be way more homeless people.
Mhm.
They could just bump the rent up as much as they wanted whenever they wanted.
Mhm.
It'd be, I mean, yeah, exactly. So it's just that there's reasons why those laws are in place. It's just this is just has nothing to do with the laws. It's just a
Yeah.
family matter. So
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like a civil court type.
I was just gonna say
Yeah.
this sounds like something that you'd see on like Judge Judy or something.
Judge Judy.
not even he's moving away in 3 days. Fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I know, causing up all that.
Yeah.
He then began to tell us that he knows how the market works and that he is paying rent until the 4th when he leaves. We explained that we were taking over the rent on the 31st as intended, but he would not hear it and kept telling us that we were wrong and he could get us in trouble for this. To finalize the story, he moved in with my parents for the 4 days and came back every day to finish packing around our stuff. My fiance and I even helped him. He moved out on the 4th and left behind piles of shit that he couldn't take, aka like treadmill, chairs, and tables. We are no longer on talking terms, and my parents are beyond upset with him. He thinks his whole ordeal was all my fault and that I have been selfish and not understanding of his situation. I told him he was the one being selfish, as we had gone over this so many times to make sure it was as smooth as possible for both of us. He said that we should have gotten our place rented for the 4th and moved in after that, but I told him that it didn't work like that for us. So, am I the asshole for kicking him out of his house before he wanted to?
No,
No.
no, absolutely
You
not.
are not. Yeah, you had an agreement with him well before this,
Mhm.
and it's not like he had no place to stay afterwards.
Mhm.
He was still staying at your parents, and you guys were nice enough to let him keep the stuff that he hadn't moved out yet
Mhm.
At the house, and he came and packed it up when you guys were still living there. Yeah, I think you did everything to be as accommodating as you could. Like I said at the beginning, I think it's weird that you didn't just let him stay there for the last 4 days. Like, maybe there wasn't enough room. I have no idea, but he could have slept on the couch or something like that. Although there are the stories of maybe him being violent in the past. So
That's
Yeah.
the concerning
I could
part.
understand
with,
that,
with a
maybe.
pregnant wife, so maybe the wife
Yeah.
felt uncomfortable, which by all
Fair.
means,
Yep,
completely fair.
completely
Yeah.
fair. And they packed
So-
up some of his shit for him.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say that.
and labeled the boxes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. They took the extra step to like do what he should have been doing that entire month for him.
Yeah.
While he's
Yeah.
threatening violence on them and stuff. Like that's
Ridiculous.
yeah.
Threatened to sue them and mansplain how the law works.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think for the most part, the OP did a great job of like controlling this dude's. I feel like this dude, his brother's emotions were like super high, that
Mhm.
to the point that it was like could be a scary situation. I think they did a good job of kind of like diffusing all
Mhm.
that, because one, I felt like the reminders were gentle. It'd be like, hey, yo, I feel like you need to move out. Like, hey,
Yeah.
where are you? Clean up your
Yeah.
shit.
There was clear communication throughout the entire process.
Absolutely.
And the fact that he chose to do like a work party or whatever it was the day he was supposed to move out, that says a lot about the type of person that he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of being
And how much he
Yeah.
cares about you.
yeah.
True.
So,
And it's like it wouldn't have been that big of a deal if he had all of his shit in a truck or whatever, like ready to go. But the fact
Yeah.
that he left all of his stuff there the day that he's supposed to be moving out, like
Piece
I'd understand
garbage.
like what he left behind on the last day. If he had that like when the process of moving and it was just kind of on the corner, I could see why it could be like a situation where like, hey, I kind of can't bring these. Can you help me like, get rid of them at a later time?
Yeah.
He could have settled with something like that.
mhm.
Oh, yeah.
And also shout out to the parents, because one, they explained to the brother like, hey bro, this ain't your fucking house,
Mhm.
and still took his ass for 4 days. So
Yep.
yeah.
that's
So,
a shout out to the
Some
parents.
of the extra stuff I took out was apparently he had tried to buy the house, or he had bought the house or something, but couldn't afford it. So the parents ended up taking over the mortgage and then
Okay.
renting it out to him.
Gotcha.
So because he had like serious credit card debt and stuff like that, so it sounded like he wasn't very, financially well off.
Probably lost it all buying, what do you call that, Bored Ape NFTs.
Crypto and NFTs, yeah.
Cryptos and NFTs. Sounds like he's the type of bro that be doing that.
Could be. And then final shout out, they're from Ontario. Let's go. We love Ontario.
Just kidding.
Wow.
Canada.
John doesn't even know where Ontario is.
Hey, that's in Canada.
It's north.
Yes.
In the
You're
mid-
right. It's north.
middle?
It's north of you.
In the middle of Canada-ish?
I mean, no, well, kind of,
Is
I
it?
guess. but
Oh,
not
wait.
really.
Toronto is in Ontario, right? So
Yeah.
in the east?
Correct. What is
Like-
what is Ontario, John? What is
It's-
it
it's a
classified as?
Province.
It's a province.
Hey,
Am I
all
right? Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah. See? I'm
I thought
not
you were
that
gonna-
stupid.
Ontario's above like Michigan and stuff, isn't it? It's kind of because it's by the Great Lakes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. It's
Fuck yeah,
yeah, good
geography.
job, good job. It's not that far from you, Lindsay.
I was gonna say
I was
it's
like,
like little close to me. Yeah,
I was like, Liz, you're practically Canadian. You could be an
I
honorary
know.
Canadian.
I could just straddle the border and be like, hey, hey.
Honestly, a lot of the northern states could.
Mhm.
give me that dual C, baby. Come on.
Thank you, John, for reading that. You did an amazing job.
Thank you.
For your first one.
Yay.
Applause for that. I'll finish this last one off. It's pretty short.
That's what she said.
Trigger warning. Oh God.
Stop making fun of me.
Never invited back.
Trigger
Minus
warning.
1 stars for all your shows. Pain.
Please no.
You guys aren't gonna let me get through this, are you?
Sorry. Sorry. I'm done.
Trigger warning before we get into this story. It does talk about sexual assaults and stuff like that. So that's why I left it till the end. If you're not feeling it, skip the rest of the episode. If you're a patron and want to listen to the other stories, but don't feel like listening to this one, we'll have timestamps in the show notes, so you can just skip ahead to that timestamp and avoid this altogether. So that is your warning, and we're going to get into it. So, am I the asshole for getting a coworker fired because of me?
I'm gonna say no
No, already because of the trigger.
because of the
warning.
trigger warning. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna say no.
Okay, Mr. HR man.
Yeah.
All right. So, I, 25 male, work at Whataburger in Texas.
The worst burger place in the world. Where are you at, Sean?
I forgot Sean wasn't on this episode, but I put it in.
We would have fought.
I wonder if it's one of the ones he's been to. It's in Texas, so could be.
I mean,
Texas
Texas is a
is
big
huge,
state,
Josh.
so
It's not that big.
It's
It's so big.
huge.
I
It's
wonder if
girthy.
Ontario is bigger. I'd be curious to see
Let's Google it.
Yeah, let's.
land size. Google land size of Ontario and Texas, and hopefully it's in kilometers.
Oh, Ontario is bigger.
Most
of Texas can't fit in Ontario.
suck it.
I'm not really from here, guys. so I'm not-
Ontario was
oh, there we go.
Ontario
we
was
go.
1.5 times as big as Texas,
Yep.
Oh,
according
Yep.
to the Google.
damn,
According to the
damn.
Google. I knew
Josh's home province is girthier than ours, Sean.
everything's bigger than Ontario. That's what they always say.
Mhm. That's why nobody wants to leave, right?
Oh God, no! Everyone wants to leave. So I, 25 male, work at Whataburger in Texas, and I got my coworker, mid to late 40s female, fired. Let me start by saying when I was between the ages of 12 and 13, I was R-worded multiple times by my uncle. So non-consensual touch freaks me out and brings me back to that dark time of my life.
Fair.
Anyway, I was taking orders in the drive-thru, and where the POS system is, the computer that you put
I
in
thought it
orders.
was like the piece of shit
Point of
system.
sale.
Like, the
Point of
what?
sale, yeah.
Although sometimes they are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Trust me, someone who's worked in the industry, it's not great.
Mhm.
There's a little heating cabinet for online orders to be put in there so it stays hot until the customers get there. Well, a customer walked into the lobby to pick up their order, and I was taking an order when my coworker grabbed me by the hips and moved me aside, and it took everything in my power not to freak out on her. So I was on edge all day until my favorite manager, A, 23 female, got to work, and I told her I needed to talk to her about something. Also, she knows what happened to me, so I felt comfortable around her to tell her. I felt comfortable to tell her, and when I told her, she told me that's not right of her to do, and that and couldn't. Sorry, and that she could tell that I was visibly upset, and talked to me for about 5 minutes to calm me down. Soon after that, she talked to the general manager and told her what happened, and she was fired. Also, this isn't the first time she grabbed someone by the hips. She did it to another coworker who was 17, female. Also, no one has told me that I'm an asshole, but I feel bad that she got fired, and don't know if I should have done something else, like tell my coworkers not to do that again. So, am I the asshole?
No, absolutely not.
No.
Especially if they
I
did it
agree.
to somebody else.
Yeah.
If the other person was uncomfortable, it should have been discussed. You know what I mean? Like, you would think there'd be some sort of, I mean, regardless, you shouldn't be touching your coworkers without their consent. Like, you shouldn't just like assume it's okay, especially like an area that's so close to your privates, to touch your hips and everything. Like,
Yeah.
it's different if you like tap them on the shoulder and you're like, hey, I need to get into the cabinet.
The back, yeah.
Yeah.
But to physically grab somebody's hips to move them, I would be uncomfortable with that, you know, without having that sort of experience. Yeah, I feel like if a warning wasn't issued in advance, it's something that definitely should have been discussed within all the staff at some point. You know what I mean? Just like
That's
proper, what's okay, what's not okay procedure for.
And that's what I was going to go. I think the OP is not the asshole. I think, and granted, I feel like the management did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
However, what Linz is mentioning too, anytime there's something like that happens, there needs to be a sensitivity training in place.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to excuse the person that did it, that got fired.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, they said it was an older person,
an older
right?
woman.
Yeah.
Generation gap.
40s.
Yep.
Maybe back in the day that was like okay. And again, not excusing it, but that's when management should step in and say like, hey, these are the policies. Everyone takes a essay training.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Make sure that everyone's consent and sign all this information. And if it happens again, then the firing is. Sorry, my Alexa's going crazy. And if it happens again, then the firing is definitely justifiable because it's been said.
Yeah.
Had there been extra steps taken, I think so. I think there could have been a conversation that had, because now the person that got fired probably be like, yo, what the hell? And now that's where I kind of freak out a little bit.
But we also don't know if there was a conversation after the 17-year-old.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that gap is missing. But at the end of the day, what OP did was extremely in the right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the management should have just done a better job of controlling the situation.
Yeah.
But no one's an asshole in this.
No,
in this
I
case.
think management did exactly what they should have done. Like
Yep.
taking it seriously, not trying to like brush it under the rug or whatever, or be like, nope, you're just being too sensitive. They did everything right. And to kind of go back to John's point about the generational thing, they were both younger than this woman. It's entirely possible she viewed them almost like children. Like, you know, this is something that you would do with your child when you're trying to get into, you know, like you move your child out of the way.
A space, yeah.
Which I do with my kids. And I'm almost 40.
But those
I'm
are your
almost 40.
kids.
But again,
Yeah.
like it's something where a sensitivity training would have, excuse me, alleviate.
Hey, only I can do
Sorry. You're getting me sick, Josh.
that. Through the
Through the
microphones.
mic. It's coming through the interwebs. That would have eliminated that issue, you know, if that sort of training had been put into place. So again, to play devil's advocate, I can definitely see that being a generational thing on her part. Like just thinking nothing of it, you know?
Yep. Agreed.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with everything you guys said. It's OP, our listener, like nothing you did was in the wrong, and like more people should do what you did, speak out and have that addressed openly. And I mean, kudos to management for taking it head on and not, taking any shit. I do agree they should have maybe if it hadn't happened already, yeah, done like you guys said, sexual assault training or whatever it's called.
It's sexual harassment training. I said
Harassment
sexual
training, not
so that's
assault
my bad.
training. Yeah. Yeah. So if those steps were taken and she was still doing it, then yeah, she's the asshole and should have been fired. So absolutely nothing you did was in the wrong. Kudos for you for calling it out. And yeah, that's that. So not the
As a
asshole.
short caveat to that, if you ever feel uncomfortable at work, you should never just sit with it. You should always tell management if you're uncomfortable with
Agreed.
something. You should always feel safe at your
100%.
workplace.
All right, that is it for this episode. What did you think, Wikimaniacs? Were these people assholes or were they saints? Yeah? No?
Big booty holes.
Let us know down in the comments or on YouTube or on our website. If you want to hear more, please consider subscribing to the show and giving us a rating and review on whatever platform you are on. And before we go, Lindsay,
Mm-hmm.
tell us about Ye Olde Crime.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ye
Yee.
Olde Crime. Ye.
Ye Olde Crime is a show that I do with my sister where we'd release episodes every Wednesday about bizarre, obscure, strange true crimes that took place pre-1900. We cover a wide range of cases from poisonings to cannibalism to good old-fashioned murders. And we also throw some paranormal stuff in there. So
God damn.
if you like learning,
You guys do it
yeah,
all.
we do a little bit of everything. So if you like learning about strange cases that took place in history that a lot of people probably don't know about, give us a listen.
Do you cover men who
Yeah.
fall down the stairs and throw up on
Throw
themselves?
up.
Not yet. I will find a story
Okay.
about.
I have a story for you, Lindsay. That's awesome. So definitely go check out Ye Olde Crime wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search Ye Olde Crime, or we'll link it in the show notes even, so you can just go there. Thank you, Lindsay, for coming on. Give us your time.
Anytime.
Mama Lins.
We'll give you Sean Starr for now.
Thank you. I will treasure it.
And before we go, don't forget you can submit your own Am I the Asshole stories to us, just like some of the stories today, on our subreddit r/Reddit on Wiki. That is it for this one.
Keep
thank
them
you,
short,
John.
please.
Yeah, keep them shorter
Try.
than 4
Try.
pages. If it's more than 1,000, I get anxious,
And then you can't go to a dry
Um,
wedding.
and then I can't go to
You
a dry
can't.
wedding. Yeah, I got to drink.
I like the wet weddings.
Oh, God.
That's when you get wild. Wet and wild, one might say.
Wet and wild.
All right,
Yeah.
that's it for this one, Wikimaniacs.
Shall we
I
keep going?
apologize for whatever this is.
It's like, ooh, that's not the holy water, is it?
We'll see you on Monday. Bye. Expert in fucking, I don't know.
Great power. For the fifth time, it's your boy Sean.